Hi, my name is Maayan Ziv. I am the CEO and founder of Access Now, and I am so excited to be participating in the conference, and I look forward to meeting you all in St. John.
As a woman in business, where does your power come from?
I have been very fortunate that I grew up in an environment where my parents really told me that I could be anything I wanted. And although I grew up and live with a physical disability, and that there are often many assumptions about what that means, um, I I was really lucky to learn that really my power is within me. It's up to me to define what I'm capable of or what I'm comfortable with. And um, I've really tried to stay true to that. So throughout my life, whenever I've had any challenges or obstacles, it might sound cliche, but I really try to trust my gut and my intuition and lean on people that I trust.
Could you elaborate on the initial challenges you face when you start Access Now?
So when I started building my company, a lot of people told me that it wasn't possible. A lot of people told me that I should be building a charity, or that it would just remain a small project. And to me, that really signaled even more so the need for my company to exist because there were so many assumptions about what accessibility means in the workplace or in the market or what the value of access would be for business owners. And part of the reason I started my company was to educate, was to help people understand why accessibility matters and how it does drive meaningful business opportunities when companies and business owners invest in access. They open their doors to many more people with disabilities who want to be customers, who want to be guests and visitors. So I think the initial challenges, and often the ones that still remain, are those of assumptions, of attitudinal barriers about why accessibility matters, or if it does, and why people should invest in it. And so it started that way, and yes, we've grown a lot, but those assumptions still exist in the world, and that's why we work so hard to break down those barriers.
How do you navigate those obstacles and turn your vision into reality?
Well, it's never a straight line when you're building a business or following any dream. There are hard days and there are exciting days and days where you feel like you're on top of the world, and then days where you really feel like you don't know where to go, what the answers will be. I think what has really helped me throughout this journey uh, is how important the mission is and the vision, not just for me personally as a person who does use a wheelchair, but to millions of people around the world who are also struggling to navigate their communities or find accessible experiences. The reason Access Now has grown the way it has is because it really has united a movement of people who believe in a more accessible world. And that is so much bigger than any type of business case or opportunity. It's driven by a real human need to belong and to connect. And I think for me, that is always what has pulled me through whenever it's been challenging, is to remember how important this is to, in Canada, upwards of 27% of the population, and throughout the world, over 1 billion people. It's a big need. And so whether it's a small challenge or a huge one that I'm trying to tackle, or we are as a company trying to address, um, it's just so important, and I'm so passionate about it, that's really what pulls me through. It's all those stories and people that I've met, and how much it matters.
Could you share some moments that highlight the positive influence of your platform?
So I think for me, the most memorable experiences are the ones where I get to hear directly from people who live with disabilities, and how the work that we do at Access Now has helped them do something, anything, whatever it is that they are interested in accomplishing, whether that is to travel to a new place, or find a restaurant, to go on a first date, or to plan an event with a group of friends and family. There's so many different reasons why people have used Access Now. Sometimes it's even just to create awareness in their own communities, where people take on the challenge of mapping their own community and engage their neighbors and their friends to contribute. Um, there have been so many stories where people have shared with us how the platform has been meaningful to them personally. And to me, it's really exciting because Access Now really does belong to the community. And it really is for whoever needs or wants to use it in whatever way they'd like to. So those stories of communities taking on the challenge and mapping their town or their city, or stories of people who've acquired injuries and have to relearn how to navigate a world that often seemed so easy, now looks very different. Those early question marks that people have about how to navigate spaces that are inaccessible, they're not easy, especially when you feel like you're on your own. So hearing from people who found our community and who have been empowered to get out there and do the things that they want to do, those are the stories that really inspire me to keep going, because it's really at the soul of what we do. It's about empowering people and engaging people to find a sense of connection and belonging to their communities.
What will your participation in Empowering Women in Business 2024 bring to St. John and Atlantic Canada?
Whenever I am invited to share, I always think it's a great opportunity to talk about the importance of representation. When I was growing up, I really didn't see a lot of people who looked like me in positions of power, or in business, or in media. Women with physical disabilities just were not represented in spaces that I wanted to belong in. And so I always like to remind people that regardless of who they are or what they want to achieve in the world, even if you don't see it yet, you always have the ability to create that space for yourself and for others. And so whether you aspire to be a leader in an industry that is male dominated, or whether it is that you want to create something new in the world, even if people tell you that that's impossible, if you believe strongly enough and you are rooted enough in your own power, anything's possible. So I always like to share those stories because I wish someone told me them when I started my company, and it took me a little while before I found those believers. Um, but they're so important to helping people kind of realize their own dreams.
Thank you so much for being here with us.